I have some bad news for any Alien fans. Today I'm reviewing Aliens Colonial Marines. Colonial Marines is a farce of a game. Almost nothing about it went according to plan. Development set back numerous times, technical issues meant that the game had to be severely downgraded from previous tech demos that were shown. In fact, there's been so much controversy surrounding the issue that Sega issued an apology for misleading advertisements, and Sega and Gearbox, the developers, are now being sued for false advertising. The game that hit our consoles simply was not the game that was presented at games conferences. This seems to be the main reason for the animosity towards the game. For me though, it's the complete lack of respect that Gearbox have shown to the franchise. Graphically, the game is shockingly bad. Textures are blocky in the extreme, animations look like they came from a PlayStation 2 title, and the less said about the character design the better. Level design is linear, you walk through corridor after corridor, killing whatever moves and then moving on to the next. All of the levels look the same. It takes the feel of Headley's Hope and force feeds it to you until you can't take any more. Aliens Colonial Marines was set to be a canon sequel to the film. You play as the backup force that was mentioned during the movie, sent in to check on what happened to Lieutenant Gorman's squad. Without spoiling the story, not that it's good to begin with, I can safely say that this game ruins the Aliens canon. Colonial Marines somehow manages to take the galaxy's ultimate killing machine, the Xenomorph, and turn them into fodder. The AI is brainless, simply making a dash for you as soon as they're in sight. The intelligent malevolence that the movie had was gone. Instead, we have a generic cannon fodder that is less threatening than standing on an upturned plug. To add insult to injury, there's a new enemy type, humans. Yep, faceless grunts that pop up from time to time, presumably to add some diversity to the 6-hour campaign. Keeping in line with the rest of the game, however, these enemies show no awareness of their surroundings or any kind of tactics. They will either sit behind the same cover, taking the odd shot, or charging straight down the barrel of your pulse rifle. You can play single player, which is best avoided, and cooperatively with up to 4 players online. The best way to play the game, if you feel you have to, is to play it with friends on the hardest difficulty setting. It's the only way you might be challenged. Most first-person shooters nowadays take the same format when it comes to weapons. Usually you can carry 2 weapons, and in some cases have a backup pistol. Not so in Alien Colonial Marines. You have a backpack full of weaponry that you can change to at any time. I found that because I never had to make a choice about what weapon I wanted to take with me, pulse rifle for multiple enemies or my flamethrower to get rid of those pesky eggs, then I never really felt I was in much danger. I almost never ran out of ammo, and if I did, I could simply change to one of the 3 shotguns I carried for close encounters. This ruined the threat that the Xenomorph should have presented. Dotted throughout the levels you can find legendary weapons. These tend to be slightly improved versions of other guns. You can find Hicks's shotgun, Hudson's pulse rifle, Gorman's pistol, and Ripley's pulse rifle flamer combo. These weapons are slightly better than their counterparts early on in the game, but as you upgrade your weapons by completing challenges, they quickly become redundant. There are half-hearted boss battles, one that includes a power loader. Don't get excited, it's awful. The ending of the game sees you trying to blow a queen out of an airlock. Now, while this sounds like an appropriate end to an Alien game, it feels clunky and awkward. I never felt any connection to the characters. Even by the end of the game, I couldn't bring myself to care if the characters made it or not. I think this was down to poor writing more than anything else, although the character design didn't help either. The voice acting is mediocre. Now, I feel like one of 2 things may have happened. Either the writers tried too hard to recreate the tone of Hudson, Apone and Vasquez, or they simply didn't try at all. Glitches are rife in the game. I can't tell you the amount of times where I was playing a game where aliens would fall through the floor, or characters simply wouldn't die. On 3 occasions this caused the game to crash and I had to reset. I think I'm being fair when I say that Alien Colonial Marines is an awful game. The hype that surrounded it for so long only goes to magnify the flaws. This isn't even a bargain bin game, don't put yourself through it. If you want the most lethal creature stalking you through the planet of LV-426, just watch the movie.